we have Gibson's Green Acres, which is our dairy farm. We also have Green Acres Dairy, which is our corn, maize, and pumpkin patch. And then we have Bennett Farms, which is our produce farm. And then we recently just started G-Bar Trucking, which is our trucking entity.
Okay. How did COVID affect those businesses?
Well, for example, our Bennett Farms, our produce business, or our onion business as we like to call it, we grow a lot of onions. When COVID hit and we shut down all of our restaurants and stuff, when we went on lockdown, 90% of our onions are sold for restaurants, right? So on salads or onion rings or like a bloomin' onion at Texas Roadhouse, right?
Okay.
And so people quit buying onions, and so that was really hard on us because all of a sudden the demand for onions wasn't there, so the price tanked, and we were getting pennies on the dollar for that commodity. So
when you think of the word revive, what does that mean to you?
well, I think that to bring back or bring back to life, that's what I think when I think of revive, right?
Yeah.
There's a Sullivan's show sheen that you spray on your calf's hair, and it basically just fluffs it up and brings it back to life. Yeah.
And then, how are your businesses been revived in a sort of sense?
Okay. Well, people are back at it. They're back to normal for the most part. We're going out to restaurants again. We're going on vacation. We're doing those things that we used to do, right? And so it's really helped us in that way. Not only that though, but it's helped us become kind of creative in the markets that we use, you know. Like this year we sold more onions to local people than we ever have before, just because we know we can tap into that local market now. And so, yeah.
And then didn't you guys also start your own little market out here as well?
Yep, so at our produce shed. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been selling produce out of our shed in the summertime, and that's the type of thing I'm talking about. Just direct to public has been a good little thing for us too. So.
And then what's a couple quotes you'd like people to know about this kind of business side of things?
A couple
Throughout
quotes.
life.
Yeah. The quote is, "Don't cuss a farmer with your mouth full."
Okay.
So, I know you might think that's kind of silly quote, but I think the public learned when this whole COVID thing hit, like, wow, when shelves started to be empty and stuff like that, they're like, wow, we need our farmers. We need, you know, even though we were still out producing, and it was a production thing on the packing and stuff like that side of things, and we're still out here producing, it helped people realize, like, shiz, if we don't have these farmers and ranchers, like, we will go hungry, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, don't cuss a farmer with your mouth full.
Alrighty, so I'm here with Jerry's Nursery. So, what was the main outcome of COVID for your business?
Well, it was a surprise. We, like a lot of other people, didn't know what to expect. And then we found out very quickly. We were swamped, overwhelmed.
Okay.
And I suspect that people, rather than going out and mixing in crowds, stayed home and gardened. And that's exactly what they did.
So it was a good outcome from it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the best year we've had for a few years.
That's good.
Did create some new challenges though. We had to have curb service. If you've ever seen a nursery or greenhouse, some people didn't want to come in and they'd call us and we'd fill the order and take out a dozen tomatoes out to the car, you know, and they'd pay us and we'd receive. That was kind of new. Curb service in the nursery, probably a new fad starting out.
Yeah. You don't see that very often.
No, not in the nursery. Not ever.
So when you hear the word revive, what does that mean to you?
bring back, I guess, or survive or bring back or something. Doesn't pinpoint it specifically what it is, but I mean, revive what?
So do you feel like local agriculture or even your business was, I mean, I'm sure your business was fine before COVID, but do you think it revived it a little bit more and just kind of brought more to like the gardening world a little bit?
Yeah, there's a lot of new customers, but that's hard to rate because we had a lot of people moving in.
Yeah.
So you couldn't tell whether it was somebody moving in that wanted to take care of their yard or put a garden in, or somebody that hadn't and been there for 10 years and was putting a new garden in. Unless you talked to them and specifically asked, and you didn't really know. But nevertheless, it did. A lot more people got involved because a lot of people didn't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd ask us, and we'd have to explain to them, the soil mixture and what they should do and how often they should water, and especially when they should plant. That's a confusing factor for a lot of people for gardens. Like, when do I put tomatoes in, or when do I plant broccoli, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I know that my mom did a garden when everything was happening. She grew a bunch of her own stuff, and she'd never done it before, and then she started gardening. So I've seen it myself. So.
Well, I think that's probably going to carry on, because the people that did come in a couple of years ago come back last year, and they were all enthused, because they planted something, saw it mature and ripen, and then ate it, and that's something that a lot of them never did before. Mm-hmm. Or if they did, it certainly wasn't any volume of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything any quotes you want to share with us that kind of spans out between the gardening world and nursery and anything like that?
Or even anything important that you think people should hear?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I'm an advocate of gardens. Have been ever since I was probably little, I guess. But I really think a couple reasons I have. I think everybody at one point in time in their early life, in their childhood or early married life or early adult life, needs to really plant a garden or plant flowers or plant something, because that seems like it satisfies a lot of people. Because you plant it, you kind of baby it a little bit, and then you see it mature, and you see either flowers on it, which are beautiful, that you help to create. And then in the case of gardens, when you taste the tomato, boy, nothing like a fresh tomato out of the garden, if you've ever had the difference of that and the ones that are grown by chemicals. So,
yeah.
So that, and the reason I say that is that the opportunity that you have and what that brings and the satisfaction, I think it has a little bit to mold a person. They appreciate more things, and they're more satisfied with accomplishments. And anyway, I just think it makes a better person.